In this video we're going to be continuing the Toyota MR2 Nürburgring project, building what is colloquially known as a ring tool. In the previous video we got the car running and installed a short ratio gearbox. In this video we'll be testing that gearbox for the first time and bedding the LSD in the smelliest way possible.
Stinks. It stinks.
But our main focus is going to be fitting an oil cooler in a top secret location. This video is part 2 of 4. Next week we'll be working on the interior, and the week after that will be the final part where we'll finish the build, ready to drive back to Germany. Let's get started. Now then, welcome back to another MR2 Nürburgring preparation video. Bit of a fun one today, hopefully. We're going to be doing a little bit of fabrication, AN lines, oil cooler, gauges. So you might have noticed with the MR2 I'm enjoying a bit of freedom. I've been racing for a few years now, these cars, other cars, but motorsport, regulations, MR2, spec racing, wasn't allowed to do a whole bunch, and now I've done things such as, you know, now when I turn one wheel, the other wheel goes the same way because we've got a plated clutch type LSD in there and a short ratio gearbox.
Everyone in the building wants to see it. We've seen classic efforts tonight already.
But another thing that I couldn't run before, and I think we should really have on the Nordschleife, is an oil cooler. Okay, oil cooler. This is a Setrab oil cooler that we're going to fit. Can you see that? Maybe not. I'll show you in a second. We're going to try and fit it in the duct area. The MR2 has 2 ducts down the side. And we're going to try and utilise one of them for an oil cooler, because one of them is unused. One of them is used for the air filter on the other side, another one is unused. Now, Hell Performance, right? Company down south who have helped me out before in the Civic with brake lines, helped out me again with the MR2 this year with brake lines, but they also do oil cooler stuff, and they've made their own oil cooler filter housing thing, sandwich plate, that's what they're called.
What are you?
An idiot sandwich.
Which goes where the oil filter goes, and it allows us to feed some of our engine oil through a cooler to keep the temps where they want to be. I've gone for a thermostatic plate, and I've gone for the higher temperature threshold there of 102 degrees. I was worried the MR2 might be too efficient, especially on a cold day, and the oil wouldn't get up to temperature. I want to keep my oil above 102 degrees, so the oil cooler will only start to try and cool the engine oil if that engine oil is above 102 degrees, okay? But the first thing I need to do, if you come with me a second, you'll see there's something that I'm going to have to remove before we do get started, and I'll get this out of the way nice and quick, because this car was an aircon car. And unfortunately it didn't work. I tried to gas it, it still didn't work. This is where our oil lines are going to go anyway, so they'll come out of the oil filter here. There'll be a sandwich plate on. We're going to keep the original, this is the original oil cooler slash warmer as well. It helps the engine oil get up to temp, and it also tries to keep the oil temp down when it gets a bit too high, but it's not really that efficient when it comes to extreme track work such as the Nordschleife can give you. But yeah, we need to get the aircon out of the way. It's got no pressure in it anyway, so we're going to take the compressor off. I'm going to get rid of the lines, and I've already taken the front radiator off, the front evaporator, is that what they call it maybe? I don't know, but yeah, I need to do a little aircon delete, and then we're going to go on with getting that oil cooler off. So, first job, goodbye aircon. I did want to keep the aircon, you know, but c'est la vie, is it they say in the Frances? C'est la vie. I'm wearing one of my new track day cool tops. This is probably a size too small for me, you might say, but yeah, this is a medium. I normally wear a large. It's a little bit shorter on the arms for me. I've got like gorilla arms, as Darkside might say. But yeah, these are quite nice. Hopefully going to keep the arms protected and not filthy, because there's nothing I hate more than getting in the shower when I get home and having to scrub my arms. Don't like that. Oh, God, that was a little bit tight. Fuck. So I got the compressor off the engine, but it won't come off the car. Nice. So exactly, can't get it through past the car and the body, so that's good. Could maybe relax the engine mounts a bit, but I've just got them fucking on. Yeah. New belt. Sparkly belt. Belt installed. Nice. Okay, so the belt's been installed. Let's start with the fun side. So this is a 16 rod air cooler, and it's going to go in here somewhere. We need to get that out of the way. So we'll try and keep as much of this ducting as we can, but for starters I'm just going to take this plate off, which there's stuff mounted to. I don't think it's anything serious. That's the release for the boot, so don't want to lose that. I'm having a hard time getting a lot of the clips off this car. I don't know what the word for plastic corrosion is, but I'm scratching the fuck out of this trying to get behind it. Right. Oh wow, the bolt holes nearly line up there. Obviously we can't mount it that way because the ports will be incorrect. We can't mount it, we could maybe mount it flat, but we want the air to pass through it, right? So we want air to come in that side duct, and you know, we maybe have to, I don't know if air will be able to get out here, will it? I don't know, we'll see what it's like. If it cooks, then I think if I make those holes a little bit bigger, that'll be a good starting point, and then we can put something here to attach the top. I just had a quick look online how other people have done this. Obviously this is where the factory air comes in, this is the duct for it, right? So imagine on the other side of that, that's where the intake scoop is. There's a guy, Ivan his name, on the Spider Chat forum, right? I think we're going to do away with this, okay? The air will still be ducted in from on the side of the car. It still has the scoop, right? That's just more like an air guide. And then he's managed to kind of squeeze this in here. We're going to get rid of this plate and then just kind of squeeze it in there like that, and then mount it kind of on the outside of this, which is going to be tight. Maybe I should have got a 13 row, but I think it'll work. But let's get rid of this bracket. I actually bought a spot weld drill bit, so obviously that's why I'm excited about this, drilling that bracket off. So that's just there for the plastic guide to go on, but we're not going to use that anyway. So get it out of the way. All right, that went too far. Okay, that one also went too far. All right, that's not bad, 2 out of 4. Right, I'm gonna have to cut this end off because we just need to get it up there. There's nothing for it to mount to there anyway. So we'll mount it 1, 2, and then we'll get maybe a riv nut in the body as well. And it'll sit in there, nice. Are you getting in your eyes? All right, so the way I'm gonna mount this, obviously we've had to take off this back hook because it gets into the way of the frame. So we've got a bolt up here to secure. We could maybe, when we've got some of this left, we could maybe beef that up a bit, but I've got this bit of flat bar. This is 1 inch, 3 mil, maybe 2 mil. I don't know, it's steel, right? Some kind of miscellaneous steel. All right, it's 3 mil. So that's plenty strong enough for anything, especially this little beauty. So we're just gonna run this there, and then we're going to do another one just on the inside here, but this one will be an acute, but that's just to space it away from the body because we don't want it to rest on the body. We want it to be, this bit of plate's pretty flimsy, right? So the vibrations of the engine and everything shouldn't disturb it too much, but obviously it's going to be connected to the body anyway at the bottom. But yeah, that is the current plan. I think it should work quite well. I thought I'd measured very well, but it turns out I've measured not well at all. Right, now we're into the fabrication stage of this video. I had a rough idea of what I wanted to do, but I didn't really know how to do it. Luckily I found this bit of steel and it's pretty malleable. So I'm not very good at this stuff, but the more you do it, the better you get, right? So I'm attaching this bit of steel bar to the oil cooler using 2 M6 screws on each side, and they're also going to have rubber vibration washers. And then into the body, I'm just putting riv nuts. Well, I've got the bottom bracket done, just about. Obviously very, very slow progress, as you'd expect. But pretty happy with that. So I'm going to order some little M6 and probably M8 as well, just some rubber washers, like anti-vibration stuff. That's always good to mount a radiator so it can move a little bit. I mean, we're mounting to like, this is really thin metal, this is obviously really thin metal. We're mounting to really thin metal, so it's going to have a bit of flex anyway, but also the rubber will just allow it to just, you know, get a little bit of a jiggle on. But yeah, I need to make the inside bracket now, cut that off, maybe paint this. I don't think it'll rust, but maybe paint it. Hot and spicy. We can actually reuse the factory hole here, that's good. Almost straight. Alright, I've been on this for far too long, but I'm pretty happy with the brackets now. I mean, this outside one, I had it done like, I don't know, it took me like an hour or something still, but this inside one, for some reason took so much longer, and this is the second attempt, and it's the only bit of steel that I've got. You might see another hole next to it. I'm going to put just an M6 with a lock, with a washer on the back with a lock washer, just like nut and bolt, just for like extra safety. But yeah, I just need to drill some holes for the lines now, which will go in here with these bungs, which I guess I'm drilling those out. Yeah, why not? And then I just need to clean up the metalwork, paint it, I guess, and then yeah, c'est la vie. Oh yeah, I need to order some rubber washer stuff, just anti-vibration stuff, off the Bezos machine. I'll do that now. All right, now we've got the oil cooler mounted. Well, we know where we're going to mount it once we come to mount it. Let's just have a look where we're going to put the lines. All right, so we've got these, I think it's AN10. Oh, there's one on the floor. So we don't have AN10 male, that maybe would have been better, but what we do have is some adapters, because this is M22, I think, on the set trab stuff. So maybe I should have got a tighter radius there, but we'll see how we get on. I think I might have some spare AN10s kicking about if we need it. So the hose needs to come back into, I mean, it could go in this, it could go in here. I'm just gonna make 2 holes here. That bung is perfect size for the lines, excellent. 28mm bungs. Hold there a second, you just heard me say 28mm, which is exactly the size of grommet that I've got in my hand, but please buy 30mm if you're going to do this yourself, otherwise you can't get the fitting through as well, and you'll see why that's important in a moment. There we go from right here for that guy. There's some wiring behind here, so we don't want to interfere with that, but I think that'll be alright. So if we just go a little bit further up, we'll miss the wiring over here or something. I don't know where my hole punch has gone. Okay, AN line, certainly not my favourite thing in the world. Due to the washers that we're using, this is going to get stuck in it, I just realised. If you've not done AN lines before, don't worry, you're not missing much. So I'm just screwing this down, right? I'm trying to screw this down as far as I can until the hose comes through the inside, which you can't see, never mind. Until it basically bottoms out. It's not threading into anything, it's just twist and turn. We can put a bit of engine oil on this too to make it easier. You can get proper spanners, alloy spanners, which, you know, don't mark it if you're fussed about that. We're probably going to scratch some of the, is it anodized or painted? I don't know. It's going to be really fun when we do this under the car, because I just realised the other fittings are straight for the sandwich plate. Oh, hello. Right, let's do the sandwich plate. Right, it does look quite rusty through the camera. It's quite corroded, this subframe. It's not like ruined, but it's not far off. First job, let's drain the oil. Looks pretty dirty. I'd say it was in fresh at the ring. Fresh before the ring, but it smells like oil at least. Maybe it's getting carboned up from somewhere, I don't know. Like a diesel, that. I mean, it had a hard session, a few sessions at the ring, but still, it's pretty bad. Okay, we're going to install oil filter sandwich plate now. We're not going to put it on tight because we don't know where we want to put the oil lines yet. We'll screw it on and the threads fit, so that's a good start. I think probably it's going to want to be about there. So yeah, this is the Hell Performance. Very nice. Look at this quality. Oh, that's going to make it awkward for us to get. So this, oh, okay, slight issue here then. Okay, good news and bad news. The good news is I've got some more fittings. The bad news is I ordered the wrong ones, but I should have done for the bad news first. Got some more fittings from the drifting boys. Oh, they're not tight. Anyway, I'm gonna have to make this line here in situ. So these AN10s that we've borrowed / stolen are from the drift boys, and they normally only remove things like this when engines die. So I've given it a clean up. All right, so I want to give that line a little bit of capacity so we can tie it up a little bit. Make sure it's out of the way. So I want to go about there. So I'll tape it first, and then we'll mark it. Still gives me enough room to change the thermostat, and now we've got 90s on. Okay, happy days. So I want that hose to sit. So I ended up trying to assemble this AN line in situ under the car, right? And I think I've got it here. I've got, double Nipex, dual wielding, and I think I've got it, but the bottom line is that I think one of these leaked or something. So just don't do it this way, because it took me ages and it wasn't right. We are not doing that again, I tell you for free, mate. We'll do the next one on the bench and we'll struggle outside of the car next time. And just to emphasise that slightly, I'm going to do what took me about half an hour under the car, about 3 seconds in a vise. I've lubed it quite a lot. That's how it should go. Not half an hour fucking... I'm just going to take it back out to see what the paper looks like. Ah, yes. Just as I suspected. So some people like to leave the masking tape on the outside of the hose after they've cut it, just to keep all the threads together. Makes it a little bit easier when inserting into the fitting. But as you can see, it doesn't actually go anywhere. It's not going to harm anything, but in the end I didn't need it anyway because the hose went straight back in. A little bit of engine oil, that was all. See how easy that was? Okay, now let's attach to the car. Do this one first, because that's on the outsider one. Yeah, unfortunately my camera angle wasn't the best here, so you couldn't really see me, but all I'm doing is attaching the hoses, right? So I've got two 90-degree bends coming out of the oil filter sandwich plate. So I got these all nipped down, and I was feeling pretty good about everything. But when I went to do the AN line on the outside, again, just freehand, it all went horribly wrong again. I just spent ages trying to make it work. And in the end, I just succumbed to the Bezos, ordered some 30mm bungs instead. And then the next day, we're actually going to take a quick trip to Darkside to get the exhaust fixed. Thanks again to Tom here. He really doesn't like being on camera, but he sorted the gearbox out last week, and this week he's welded in a new exhaust flexi. So thank you very much. All right, it's actually been a couple of days. Got a bit frustrated with the old oil cooler lines. I got a little bit frustrated and stopped doing the video for a little bit, but good news, I've upgraded the bungs to 30mm holes now so I can get the fittings through. Remade the fittings again, and I'm just painting the brackets now. Look, painting, oh, colour match, very nice. And I'm just finishing painting the floor plates and stuff. Yeah, so I want to get the interior done. I've cancelled the track day. I was supposed to be at Castle Combe tomorrow. That's definitely not happening, is it? I got the exhaust fixed thanks to Tom G at Darkside again. Yeah, I'm trying to secure some heat wrap because, I mean, obviously I hate the stuff, who doesn't, but that's probably worth doing before we put all this mess back together, isn't it? Give it a little clean up and some fresh heat wrap. And yeah, there's no oil in the engine at the minute, but I'm just tidying up this bracket as well, and then everything is good to go. All right, I'm just about to put the oil cooler back on, hopefully forever. Don't worry about that. Hello. So I've got the lines routed okay-ish. So they come out of the oil cooler down there. And what I've done here is there's some holes in the back of here to hold stuff on, right? And I've reused one of them. I've put an extra long bolt in it. And then I've yeah, got the two P-clips side by side there with washers in between. And it's got, I put some thread locker on the bolt as well, so hopefully that doesn't come loose. And another P-clip just up here. And then actually I might put another one of these little tidies. This has also got thread locker on it. I'm trying to be super Nürburgring safe. I might put, or maybe just a little bit more fiddling, but the paint's dry, so the brackets are all going to go back on, and I'll show you what it looks like when it's finished. When it's finished. Funny story, just a quick update on the 4-day oil cooler install. Yeah, now everything's nice and neat, the lines are too long. Tomorrow's job then, I guess. I managed to make it work. I'm a little bit worried about the tension. It's not terrible, but I mean, maybe it'll be fine. Maybe I could put another one of those little clip things on there. Might help. Anyway, it's definitely home time. This is fine. This is normal. Well, it's the day after, right? And guess what? The quarter panel doesn't fit. It fouls on this guy pretty bad. And with that guy removed, it sort of fits, but it's then touching this guy. So I think what I'm gonna have to do is just rotate it slightly. So try and pull this in further, pull this in further. My nice color matched brackets back in the vise, bend them a little bit more. And yeah, probably also shorten the lines a little bit. So yeah, I'm gonna go and do that now. Yeah, I forgot to do the clicky thing before, but let's just do it again.
I'm gonna have to go. He's gonna fucking publicly humiliate me. Yeah, he's got his fucking stupid camera out.
All right, the oil cooler has been tilted a little bit now. All right, I sold the Black M3 the other day, and I've done a little bit of shopping, a little bit of, you know what I mean. Also got a finally invested in some compression of the pneumatics. But yeah, I was at Lidl earlier as well, and you know, I was going to clean this exhaust anyway, and they had these polishing discs, so that's before. I'm going to try and clean this up a bit. Alright, so it's fair to say that a few things haven't gone to plan so far in this video, but things are coming up Millhouse, maybe. I saw some polishing pads for sale in Lidl's in the Parkside, so I decided I would polish my exhaust, because why not polish your tip when things are looking a bit down, right? Cheer yourself up. I spent a lot of time working on the interior as well in the meantime, which is going to be its own video, and it's going to be quite a big one, so yeah, I'm working on that next. But yeah, all that's left to do now on the oil cooler really is to test it, but we also have another thing to test. The gearbox. The car still hasn't moved under its own power yet. Made a mess of my nice brackets a lot, but whatever. I could paint them again, but just getting sick of everything taking so long. Ned's just finished the exhaust. I've just had a really nice win on the exhaust studs. They just all came out, no heat or anything. I thought I'd just give them a tickle whilst they were, you know, engine's been stone cold for days now, and yeah, they're all just coming out really nice. So I've got some titanium studs. A bit exciting, I know, very exciting. But yeah, we'll get the exhaust on, put some oil in it, and see if the oil cooler works. Why do I make these videos again? Why do I make these videos again? Who is watching these videos and enjoying this? Let me know. I need it. Well, I mean, obviously it's months since today that you're watching this, but I'll tell you what, I need it today. Yeah, I still need it. All right, well, I'll see you tomorrow. Oh yeah, so I got the gauges installed, but as you can probably tell, the interior was quite the project, right? I spent a lot of time on the interior, weeks if not months I spent on the interior. Yeah, I spent way too long, but I did lots of stuff which I've not done before, such as the gauges. I mean, I've had gauges before, but I tried to make it nice, and then I ended up getting another head unit in the car and creating a little Arduino style device, a little mini computer thing to send the signal from the gauges into the head unit so I could log them, and I did lots of little stuff like that which I thought was interesting at the time, but certainly was time consuming. Anyway, interior video will be next, as I've said, but now we need to test drive the car for the first time and break in the LSD. I'm just doing the LSD break-in. It's not, it's fucking full of literal shit, like all that on the floor. Yeah, it turns out the range on my wireless mic isn't quite as good as what I thought it was, but what I'm trying to say is that I've got to do 30 minutes of a figure of 8 at low speed without kind of stressing the LSD just to break in the clutch plates. And the only place I can do that on the farm just happens to be next to a big pile of manure, and it had been raining, so I am literally having to drive through shit.
Going around fucking Browntown town, fucking around, fucking singing a bit.
Well, I'll never get that half an hour back. Car stinks of shit. Oil didn't get above 70. This is warm though. Am I right in thinking that the thermostatic plates let a little bit through? Is that how it works? Oh, there's even shit all over the front of it. Can you see what looks like mud? Can you see the mud? I gotta tell you, that ain't mud, partner. All up the front of it and everything. And I gotta wash it without a roof on, so I gotta be careful. Yeah, this is getting warm. Now that's cold at the bottom though. Hot at the top, cold at the bottom, and bottom's the feed. That makes sense then. Okay. Alright, if you didn't catch that, let me just try and explain it a little bit. So we've mounted this oil cooler, right? The oil cooler is just a radiator to cool oil. Oil cooler. Huh. But we've mounted it sideways, haven't we? We've mounted it sideways. But we've got a thermostatic oil filter sandwich plate, haven't we? So we can use this to our advantage and hopefully stop the oil that remains in the cooler after you turn the engine off from draining back into the sump. Or at least as long as the valve's not open. Anyway, I've connected the feed line, the thermostatic line, to the bottom of the oil cooler, right? And the return is on the top. So why is the bottom cold and the top warm? Well, that's because the thermostat isn't open. The degrees didn't get above 70. I don't think. I was driving for about half an hour. That's pretty normal, just cruising about on the road. The oil temperature is usually a good bit lower than the water temperature. Anyway, yeah, this is rigged up in a way that should hopefully prevent the oil cooler from going dry and having any airlocks or anything. If you didn't have a thermostatic oil filter sandwich plate, then you probably don't want to be mounting these sideways. He's going to say, try to stop it smelling of shit. I just thought that's probably going to be, that probably will have been really good for my clutch as well, right? I've got a new clutch and flywheel on the car too. That's probably pretty good for it, right? All this brown water, good for the soles. All right, Saturday night, 10:30 p.m, 22:26 to you military people. All right, I'm editing this video and you're watching it tomorrow, maybe, I don't know, but I can't get this oil cooler thing out of my head, right? I can't work out what's going on. If it's always going to allow a little bit to bypass, which they do by design, then if I've mounted it sideways, then surely there's no way to prevent that oil cooler from eventually, over time, overnight, might take a week, might take a month, might take a few minutes, I don't know. Surely there's no way to stop that from draining itself, right? The volume of the fluid is higher than the sump, right? And if it's got a path of least resistance, right, fluid dynamics, it's going to want to go back into the sump, no? Maybe I need to instead fit a one-way valve on the lower port. Maybe that's what I should do. But yeah, this was 3 months ago, and it seems to have been okay. So I don't know. I threw some water on the oil cooler because yeah, it was had some shit on it. So you know, I washed the and yeah, look, it's cooling. I mean, the car's at 83, right? See, the fan just came on, so the water must be at 95, I think, for that to happen. But I think with the thermostatic valves, like, you can never, it's not stopping it all go through, it's just like stopping the majority of it, right? Like 95%, for example, or something. But I think a little bit still needs to get through to, you know, not have oil pressure problems, am I right? Something like that. I'll Google it. How much shit's going to be underneath? The underside of the car is bad. I didn't think about that. Oh man. I can't ignore that. No way. Alright, that brings us to the end of this video then. So the oil cooler is installed and functional, and in the next video we'll be attacking the interior. Be prepared for a big video there. I'll try and condense it as much as what I can. I'm just about to put the car back on the ramp here, but I can smell the smell, and yeah, I decided it was best to put the car back outside and give it another little jet wash underneath. Of course, I do regret bedding the LSD on that day, but I really didn't have a choice, and I needed to move forwards, right? So many delays, and I just wanted to get the car done and get back to the Nürburgring, and the only way I was going to be able to do that bedding in procedure was, yeah, there. But yeah, that's all from this one, so thanks for watching. I'll see you next week, and we'll be installing the ultimate race car Ringtool interior. Maybe.